are at SHOT Show 2016. We're on the floor. One of my most exciting objects that I get to look at this week is going to be the PD10 from Rob Pincus. So I'm here with Rob Pincus. I've had a chance to shoot this gun a few times. I've also had the opportunity to kind of be involved along the way to check out the 3D production models of it and whatnot. And as we move forward, getting ready to go near production with it, this is going to be the latest version of that firearm. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes, this is the Avidity Arms PD10. We announced the Avidity Arms last week, and we announced the PD10. We actually started showing it formally on Monday here at Range Day at SHOT Show. Now this one right here is about 98% of what the final production gun is going to be. The one that you shot is actually probably about 90%, 95%. So a couple of the changes that were made, one of them actually Barrett influenced. He came in to shoot this one with us in Florida probably about a month ago, and one of the things that we found that didn't happen with my hand, but with his hand, he noticed the size of his fingers curled around and actually were touching the magazine release button. So if you take a look at this gun, this is part of that prototyping process. This is a steel prototype. Obviously these are machined. That we have to get that mold, we get the polymer, that's on the way. That's when the polymer guns will start coming out this spring. Well, if you look at the position of this magazine release versus the position of this magazine release, you see that it's been raised up by a few millimeters. That few millimeters makes all the difference to someone who has fatter fingers or longer fingers coming around under this deep undercut that we've got at the trigger guard. It also actually makes it more likely that somebody's going to be able to hit that magazine release very easily without having to compromise their grip like a lot of people have to do on the thicker guns. Now this is a single stack 10+1. It's using an actual 1911 magazine, so it's a 10-round Chip McCormick 9mm 1911 magazine. This is the magazine that all the 1911 9mm guys are saying is the go-to magazine. It's the one we're using for prototyping, and we intend to be shipping a couple of these with the gun. You notice it has claw emergency manipulation base plates. We've got claw sights from Ameriglow on these guns. We're going to have a purposely built slide lock, not a slide release. So this is angled specifically to be locked in the up position in that worst case scenario to take the pressure off of a double feed so you can extract that magazine. This isn't the final shape. So when I say this is 98%, you'll see that this has some really hard square edges. That's going to be rounded off to match that contour on the front and the rear. We also, because we have such a low bore axis and we have a high hand, you'll see that I've got some marks on the hand here, just from where that slide is hitting back on the skin. A lot of people call that, that Glock bite. Well, what we got here is this is all going to be radius. This is going to be rounded here and here to take these edges and points away. So it's going to rub, but it's not going to cut on a lot of people's hands with that deep, deep grip we've got up there. So a couple little tweaks, some of the features that are built in, an index point, a safety index point for your trigger finger, so you actually have a place to keep your trigger finger. It's going to be lefty friendly. It's going to be an ambidextrous, all the way push through ambidextrous magazine release. Some of the features here are really designed to make sure that people aren't having to go to the aftermarket. They can just come here, buy one gun, have the good sights, have the good magazine release, have good magazines, have good base plates, and put it in a holster, train with it, and then of course count on it to defend themselves or other people as they move out in the public space.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, having one gun. This is a firearm that's certainly going to be large enough, 10 rounds, large enough for home defense. It's going to fit a lot of hand sizes where a lot of the double stack guns won't fit. I've got large hands and I don't have issues with it, but you'll notice a lot of people, they pick up the normal double stack guns that you would see for home defense, and they're not able to reach their fingers around to still be able to reach the controls and the trigger of the firearm.
Right.
So this is a gun that works well for home defense. It's got the full length slide on there, being the 4-inch. I've got a full length grip, enough real estate to get my hand on it, but yet it's also going to be skinny enough, being the single stack design, that this gun can leave the house and get outside into the public environment and also work well for concealed carry.
Right.
Where you have one firearm that could go both uses.
And when we decided to launch the company, of course we have 20 ideas about all the different guns we're going to build over the future period of years and months and all that, but we needed to come out with something that was unique, something that the market really isn't offering, and something that people have been asking for, including me, for a long time, and that's that single stack 10 to 12 round 9mm defensive gun. That's what the PD10 is.
And absolutely, I've been excited about it. I've been excited to be involved along the way. I'm looking forward to getting the production models in my hand to get out there and test it and evaluate it and see how well it ends up working. Again, I'm Barrett Kendrick with Bearco Training, SHOT Show 2016, Rob Pincus. I used to get training. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, man. Thank you.